What are Kim Jong Un's love languages?
Kim Jong Un is planning another nuclear test.
The North has threatened to unleash a powerful response if Seoul and Washington.
North Korea has fired at least 10 missiles.
So there's this concept of love languages, the way people express and receive love. There's 5 of them: acts of service, gift giving, physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. And you're probably thinking, Ollie, who cares what Kim Jong Un's love language is? I care. I fucking care, alright? It's quite obvious at the moment that North Korea has been escalating with increased missile testing and threats towards the West and South Korea. I don't think there's ever been a better time to understand Kim. Let's find out what makes Kim blush. What makes him giggle? What makes the guy come? Probably can't say that. Just because he's a psychopathic dictator, megalomaniac, with pretty decent hair, does not make him Kim Jong unlovable. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's take a deep dive within a 3 or 4 minute window and find out what Kim Jong Un's love languages are. So firstly, I believe it's pretty evident that Kim Jong Un expresses his love towards others in North Korea with acts of service. Now, obviously from Kim's perspective, acts of service would be serving the people with providing them healthcare, education, economic resources, security, food, as well as maybe a nuclear weapons program. It seems pretty obvious in the West that most of North Korea's population is literally starving to death with zero healthcare, zero education. North Korean people don't need food. They need intercontinental ballistic missiles. He probably has failed on this one. Cross that one out. Gift giving. Kim Jong Un loves a good gift, and it's been known that Dennis Rodman, the ex-basketball player who used to play for the Chicago Bulls alongside Michael Jordan, he's become very good friends with Kim Jong Un over the last decade or so, visiting North Korea many times and bringing apparently millions of dollars worth of gifts to Kim, and I'm sure Kim loved it. In interviews, Dennis Rodman has talked about just being treated like an absolute king in North Korea. He would have free range in North Korea. Pretty much, you could imagine he could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's probably been up to some mischief in North Korea, that's for sure. And also bringing us on the love language of physical touch, Kim has his own pleasure squad, which is apparently made up of over 2,000 women between the ages of 16 and 24, and their sole purpose is to pleasure Kim Jong Un. I know Dennis Rodman's reputation when it comes to women, and I'm sure he's taken full advantage of Kim Jong Un's pleasure squad whilst being in North Korea.
I heard you broke your like 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
That's the truth.
Yep, that's the truth. The hospital term, you pull your pants down, he said, "Oh, I know what that is." He said, I said, "What is?" He said, "You got a contusion of your
Quality time with Kim. This is one of his fortes. Besides North Korea running their own calendar and time zone, which I found incredibly interesting, don't break Kimmy's heart, because North Korea's regime love the guilt by association punishment. It's a policy that doesn't just punish the person who committed a crime, but if someone was found guilty of a political crime, their parents, children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren, apparently in some circumstances, can be punished also. I'm really fucking glad that we don't have the same rules here, because I know my ancestors would have gotten up to some mischief and done some pretty nasty shit. Whilst I've had a little bit of fun exploring Kim Jong Un's love languages, I think it's important to remember that North Korea's regime continues to be responsible for some of the most truly horrific and unethical actions, from suppression of political dissent, sex trafficking, forced labour. It's pretty obvious that the North Korean regime has had an absolutely devastating impact on the lives of millions of Koreans. So I think it's important that we reflect on just how lucky we are. I better get going.